Product companies, product management, product-led growth, product people. What is this product all about? Keep watching. I'm going to be explaining that in a second in this video. Hey guys, my name is Rubabdat Sharma. I am currently a senior product manager. If you want to know more about me or this channel, look out for the introduction video above. Else, let's get right into today's topic. So the topic for today is, what is product all about? So let me put it this way. Product is a thing which makes users feel accomplished, empowered, inclusive, and secure. Wait, it's not just that. It's also a thing which makes businesses feel profitable. Are you wondering, what did I just hear? I'm going to explain that in a bit. Alright, starting off with users feeling accomplished. That was the first thing I said. Why does a user needs to feel accomplished when using a product? So that is a basic necessity. If at all a user is not able to get the value from the product, or in other words, they don't feel that they've accomplished a particular task by using a product, there's no point using the product. So a very basic necessity that a product should serve is it should solve a user problem, hence making the users feel accomplished. So that is like table stake, that needs to be there. That is something which cannot be ignored. So that's the first thing. So the PMs need to make sure that the features they are building onto a product is solving a real user problem and is providing value to the end user. So that's how users are going to feel accomplished while they're using the products. Alright, the second point is users should feel empowered by using the product. Why? Have you heard of a term called product experience? The end-to-end experience. It's that experience which makes the users feel empowered. If a product solves the problem or it provides a value to the person, yes, they will feel accomplished that they've done something useful, but it's the experience that matters when they navigate into the product. If that experience is lagging, they don't feel good about the product is not called as a good product. It's just a product if that experience lacks. So it's important that a product should make users feel empowered as well, that they have control over the product in terms of how they use it. So that user experience is a very crucial piece to a product as well. So a PM needs to make sure that the features they are building, it's providing flexibility, customizations, integrations to the end user, so that the end user feels that this product is part of their ecosystem and they have control over it in terms of however they want to use it. So that's how they are going to feel empowered while using it, and that's how they are going to continue using the product because it fits perfectly in their ecosystem. The third point that I mentioned is that a user should feel inclusive. What does that mean? Why do they need to feel inclusive? So if suppose I am using a product which is used by millions of other users, I will feel inclusive in that community. So if a lot of people are using the product, I will feel like, yes, it's really great. It's that, emotional thing that a person feels. So, there are a lot of things that can be done on a particular product to make users feel inclusive. It's a very nice to have feature in a product. They should feel inclusive about it. Like you don't want to be the user of a product, the only single user of the product. If other people have abandoned it, there surely are some misses which you've not seen till now. So it's important that a product should provide that inclusive experience to the end user as well. So a PM needs to make sure that the features they are building, it's not just the bells and whistles you provide within the product, but it's also outside of it. So what does the onboarding experience look like? What does the offboarding experience look like? So just to explain it a little better, let's take an example of Airbnb. So it's not just about how you're able to book a space for yourself on the app. It's also about the experience that the end user has when they are physically present in that space. So PMs need to be very mindful of this holistic experience, because if this holistic experience is good, that's how end users are going to advocate for you. And if they're advocating, the word of mouth, it's just going to spread, and that's how people will automatically feel inclusive. It's like, as I said, it's that feeling. If there's a product which is quite famous, people are already talking about it, they're going to spread the word automatically, and that's how that inclusiveness feeling will come in picture. So that's important thing as well. Now last but not the least, the fourth thing that I mentioned is that a user should feel secure. Why should a user feel secure with the product? Take as an example, I use Netflix. I'm sure many of you do as well. You're all right paying the subscription. Why are you paying that subscription? Because you can rely on Netflix product, that it's going to be available for you when you want to rewind yourself, when you want to relax. You can just go in there, watch some content and feel good about it. So you have that feeling of security from that product. So I think it's important for all the products that we design that we provide that secure experience to the end user as well. So as an example, I pay for gym as well. I know that I'm going to get results for it. That's a separate story. I don't go very often. I'm sure it's the case with you as well, but I feel secure, like there's a place wherein I can go and I can get the results that I want. So all the products out there should make the users feel secure as well. It's equally important. So a PM needs to make sure that the features they are building, or in fact the technology behind the features that they are building, it's quite stable and reliable, so that the end user has that feeling of security with that product. So a product should be built in a way that makes people feel all four of the above: accomplished, empowered, inclusive and secure. So that will be a definition of a good product. If there are some things which are missing out there, there's going to be churn. People are going to drop off eventually. So that's why we don't categorize them in good products. So a good product is something that makes users feel all four of these things when they're using it. Alright, now in order to help you digest that more in a relatable way, I'm going to give an example here of Uber. I'm not saying Uber is a bad product. I'm just giving an example. So just take it with a pinch of salt. So let's see. You have opted for a product called Uber. I'm using Uber as an example because it's used worldwide and it's more relatable. That's why. Taking Uber as an example, you book an Uber, you want to go from one place to other. You book an Uber and you reach there. Awesome. Your problem is solved. You feel accomplished by that. Awesome. That check mark is checked on Uber. Now afterwards, payments, you see while you're using the product, and on a payment screen you see there are only certain limited bank options available, or the card options available for you to make payment, and every time you are being forced to pay by cash. What does that tell you about the experience using the product? So you are not going to feel empowered. So that empowered checkbox is cut off here, because you don't have control over the platform. The platform is forcing you to choose an option which you don't want to choose. So over here, what the product team needs to do is that they need to do the research on people who are actually using Uber. What are the most available options, payment options that they opt for, and provide those, as opposed to what are the payment options that they think should be part of the product. So that is why that user experience has been hampered, because you don't feel empowered by using it. Alright, the next one, suppose on Twitter or on social media, we know that's such a thing, right? You've been hearing a lot of negative feedback about Uber as an example. There are safety issues, there are hygiene issues and stuff like that. Would you still feel comfortable using Uber? Will you feel inclusive? So it's very important that a product should have an experience which makes the end users feel inclusive. Otherwise, if the people don't feel inclusive, they are going to drop off. You're not going to be booking an Uber, you're going to go with an alternative. So that's why that inclusive factor is very important as well. Now after this, we are just stating examples of bad products. I'm just making up all these things. So suppose you are in a situation, you're getting too late, and then you open Uber to go from one place to another, but then the application just keeps crashing. So what happens? One time, two time, three time, it just keeps crashing, and you're not able to make a booking to go to a place that you want to, and you are in such a hurry. What will you do? You will immediately opt for alternative at that point. And then suppose this happening multiple times with you. This has happened maybe 3 times with you, wherein you open the product and you're not able to do it. So your sense of security is going to be lost in the product. So I think what PMs or product team needs to realize at this point is that the application or the product is built in a way which makes people feel secure, that the end users can feel that they can rely on the product at any time. So it's a very important factor whenever we say that it's a good product. That's why what I said earlier, I'm just going to re-emphasize that as well. For a product to be called as a good product or to be tagged as a good product, it should meet all 4 of these criteria. If any one of these is missing, it's going to die a slow death. So that's as simple as that. And it's like that one definition, that a product should make end users feel empowered, accomplished, inclusive and secure. That's how users are going to enjoy it. So by now I know I've said a lot of things, Don't worry, I'm going to be providing a guide towards the end. You can even download that yourself. So in that guide I'm going to list down my experiences of what a good product and what a bad product is, so that you're able to relate to those examples and then get started into the activity of doing that yourself. So look out for that as well. And if you've stayed so far, do not forget to hit like and subscribe. Now, the second thing I said earlier in this video, it's not just about the end users. The product has to also make the business or a company feel profitable. Why is that important? Like, we're building product for end user. Why does it matter what business feels? It's because people working on the product, people building that product, they need to get paid. Right? They are working for it, they need to get paid. So that's why it's very important that a business should feel profitable by that product. Because if a business doesn't feel profitable, the investment into building the product is not going to happen. If the investment doesn't happen, end user doesn't get what they want. So that's why it's important that business also has a say or a place at the table when we say what a holistic product should look like. So what I mean by that is, the product managers do not only need to think about end users, they also need to think about how building this product is going to be profitable for the company or for the business. Both of them need to have a say at a table. Users, as you see, there are 4 points which we need to consider for user, but we should not forget how it's going to make money for the business. So that's equally important as well. So a product team needs to make sure that company, they have the right skill sets, they have the right resources, they have the target market, the right business models, and everything that revolves around making it profitable, it's already in place, it's set in place. So if a product is making money for the business, they will want to reinvest more in that. On the other hand, if the business doesn't have the right skill set or resources or the business models, the product is going to fail, and so is the business. So that's why there needs to be a very fine balance between both of these. Now again, to help you to be able to digest this information, I'm going to give an example. So suppose a business or a company has realized that there is a customer problem that we need to address. We have to make this product for the end users, which is going to solve this problem. They are going to feel accomplished, empowered, secure, and inclusive after using it. Great. Now they go into the development cycle, building cycle. Like, development is not primarily engineering, it's a lot of other things. So they go into that cycle, and then they realize they don't have the appropriate skill sets to be able to build that product. Now there were 2 things which will happen here. If the skill set is not appropriate, one thing, the product is not going to be built on time. People are going to struggle building it, and the time it takes to build the product, there already is going to be a potentially another competitor who's going to jump in the market and take control of the market. That's one thing that can happen. Secondly, we somehow, as a business, we manage to build out a product, but it goes in the hand of customers and it breaks. It's not a quality product. So we are going to see not only the bad reputation, but also the customers dropping off eventually. So that's one example of, if a business doesn't have a proper skill set, what is it that can happen. The second example again is, if a business, as an example, do not have a proper business model to sell it. So what will happen in this case is, yes, the product is all shiny, it's solving the user's problem, it gets in the hand of customers, and people are like, I don't want to pay it this way. I want payment method or a subscription method that I'm using for the other products that I'm using. So that business model is not well thought of. So when I say business, there are a lot of things. It's about skill set, it's about how we sell it, it's about how we market it, it's about what business models do we have. So it's a lot of things that comes under business, and that's why it's very important to think from those perspectives as well. Yes, if a product is solving an end user's problem, great, but then everything within the organization should also be appropriate, that an organization is able to build that product and get it out in the hand of customers. That's why it's very important that PMs and the product teams think of the business aspect as well whenever they are thinking about creating a product and building a product for the end users. So a good product should keep business in mind and make sure that the business is profitable by doing that. Now I hope by now you have a fair idea of what a good product is and what a bad product is. What are the factors that a PM, or in fact the whole product. So it's not just upon the product manager to be able to take care of everything. It's also the product designers, it's also the engineering team, it's also the sales, it's also marketing, it's also go-to-marketing. So all the teams within the organization working on the product need to make sure that everything is on their radar are and they are able to reach their goals. So collaboration is the key here. Nothing is going to be achieved if the collaboration within the business or an organization is not good. Now, whatever I just said, these are not only applicable to tech products, these are also applicable to non-tech products. And in fact, it's not just the tech industry, it's the other industries which are going to be benefiting from this mindset of how end users feel and how businesses feel about a particular product. Now, what I would really like you to do is just sit back, absorb what I said, look at the guide that I have shared with you, which you're able to download, and think about the product that you're working on. And just think, is your product providing all these experiences that I mentioned to the end user? Is the end user feeling accomplished, empowered, inclusive, secure? And is the business feeling profitable with your product? So if your answer to all these questions is a yes, kudos to you, your product is great. If you're missing out on something, just sit back and think through what is it that can be improved in that particular area to make it a great product. So if you're bought into the concept of what a product is, I would highly recommend you also watching out the video I've done before, wherein I'm talking about what a product manager does on a frequent basis, daily, bi-weekly, monthly and quarterly, because that will really help you give like the whole picture and be able to connect whatever I just said today to the actual roles and responsibilities. Otherwise, that's all for now. See you all next time. Bye bye.